Can you build a tiger habitat that is shaped like a tiger in Planet Zoo? That, my friends, is our challenge for today. You may have seen popular YouTubers who play The Sims attempt a challenge similar to this one. I tend to get a lot of my challenge ideas from the Sims building community, so thank you guys for being smarter than me. Let's get started. The first thing I did was try my best to draw out the shape of a tiger using the terrain paint brush. Now, even though I am somewhat of an artist, I can't say I have ever used Planet Zoo as a paintbrush before, but there is a first for everything. I mean, it's just like Photoshop. I don't even see the difference. What are we even gonna do with a habitat this shape? We're probably gonna have to get real creative because not every habitat is gonna have 4 little corridors that end nowhere. It took several tries and a lot of reshaping to get a half-decent looking silhouette. We are going to make this tiger nice and thick so that way we have plenty of space in the habitat. This, this is not my best work. Let's just go ahead and erase all of this. Pretend it never happened. I think that looks a little better. This is the easiest part. I like this part. And look at that. I might as well be an art channel from now on. The easy part was now over with, because drawing the shape of a tiger isn't what this challenge is about. Now, we have to turn this into a proper, functional habitat. So of course, I started tracing around the general shape using habitat barriers and colored them in orange hue to try and give off more of a tiger impression. I also chose where I wanted the viewing areas of this enclosure to be. There has to be some way to actually see the live tigers beyond a helicopter ride. That's when I had the bright idea of turning one of the tiger's front legs into a swimming pool. Was it practical? No, not in the slightest, but I wanted underwater viewing, damn it. The other viewing areas were very standard and hidden in convenient places that wouldn't obscure the actual shape of the habitat. I even added in a raised viewing platform just for good measure. I finished the pathing. It doesn't look great, but it is very functional, okay? You get great views into here, and all the way up here. It still looks like it's in the shape of a tiger. All is well, okay? Don't worry about it, guys. It's fine. I put off the actual decorating of the habitat as much as I could. I honestly had no idea the direction that I wanted to take this project in, so I started landscaping how I would in any normal habitat, with the terrain. Now, I have an idea, and I don't think it's a good one, but we're gonna try it anyways. What if I used the raised areas to create some stripes on the tiger? Now, drawing a realistic and good-looking tiger pattern is difficult in general, because a lot of the times it just looks stale and yucky. So drawing it in Planet Zoo is probably going to be even more difficult. We'll do some detailing on the face here, give him a couple of stripes that run on his cheeks. I'm gonna be honest, I think the darker terrain paint actually kind of makes it look better. Hopefully you guys think the same. Since we're doing terrain paint, how about we add back in the grass? Maybe in some of the areas where the tiger is supposed to be orange, we can make it green. I am an artist and Planet Zoo is just my canvas. It may not be the best canvas, but hey, at least I'm painting something. Sculpting and painting the tiger stripes with the terrain tools certainly gave me the confidence boost that I needed to finish this project. Then it was time to add the plants. I thought that this part should be easy. Just throw down some grass, add like 2 trees, and it should look good, because foliage always looks good, right? Yeah, I was wrong. No matter how much I tried to convince myself, this landscaping looked awful. The colors weren't right, and it really made me look like I had never even played the game before, so it had to go. I took a break from the game, came back, and deleted everything. But what I came back with was a new game plan. I'm going to be honest, I didn't like the way the foliage was looking, so we are starting over from scratch with all of the foliage. Now, being more organized, I knew exactly the steps to take to make this enclosure look presentable at the very least. The real key here was not foliage. It was rock work. I also decided to make a big focal point for the habitat, a raised sleeping platform. How about we just make a base of something like that? We won't follow the stripes very closely just because I think that is our problem here. Just make it look like it's not quite so square with these rocks here. Essentially, it just means chopping off the corners and hoping it looks organic. Now, how about we add some bedding? No, they actually use this as a sleeping spot. And now is a great time to bring back all of that lush bamboo. We're not going for realism here. We're just using whatever we have on hand. I knew the style I was going for. I knew what foliage I wanted to work with, and I knew the scale that everything should be. So now for the other important man-made structure in this habitat, the climbing frame. I'm not great at building climbing structures. This time though, instead of going to the Steam workshop like I normally do in these projects, I forced myself to create something original. I think it would be really cool to have a rope bridge like this. Let's add some way that the tigers can get up here besides just climbing on the tree. Now we just need to connect the tree and the climbing platform. It certainly isn't the best climbing frame out there, but I tried my best. Yes, this is my best. You can laugh at me in the comments. Now all that's left to do is the rest of the foliage work, and to add more rocks as I see fit. I say all that's left as if it's some small task. This is actually the most time-consuming part by far, so enjoy this epic planting montage. Look, I even gave him a little eyeball made from a rock. This is when I realized that there was a problem. 4 problems to be exact. And those problems were giant leg-shaped corridors. One of them was already a swimming pool, which I'll come back to at the end, but the rest were just empty. The worst part, too, is that you can't even see into these parts of the enclosure. I attempted to remedy this by putting little windows in select spots. Then I tried to make each leg have something to offer. One leg had a cave for the tigers to rest in. It even spilled out onto the pathway to give an immersive viewing to the guests. And we can make it look like the guests are the ones in the cave. It's not the worst part of this habitat. The worst part of this habitat is the tail. Another leg had a little raised sleeping platform with a perfect close-up view of the tigers. And the other leg, well, I guess I forgot about that one. We're just gonna fill it with plants, okay? They can't all be winners. And then it was back to planting, and more planting. There are going to be so many little banana palms in this habitat, this might as well be a monkey exhibit. Like an absurd amount of planting. And I won't make you sit through this because that would be boring. The last leg of this project was decorating, well, the last leg, the one with the swimming pool. I have severely neglected the pool. That just entailed adding a boatload of rocks until it looked decent, and then some bamboo for a tropical vibe. I mean, I think this has to be the best we can do. It's not so bad. And that brings us to the end of our challenge. I think it turned out surprisingly well. Next time, I think I'd go for an animal with a simpler shape, like a seal or something, but the tiger was certainly a challenge. I don't know, do you guys think the shape of the habitat actually looks like a tiger? Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this challenge. And while you're there, don't forget to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe because we have a lot of fun here on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.